Hey, yo, we are so excited to be here. We were just talking. We're at 13 minutes before the podcast has even started, and me and Vertebrae were losing our minds with the evolution of what is about to happen with this podcast and all the fun events we've had since we were last with you. Welcome to episode 125. This is like a turning point episode, I think, for In Madness Pod. Sean the Butcher here with Vertebrae 33. How's it going?
It's Sean. It's a very special episode of In Madness podcast. So watch it with your parents and they'll explain to you afterwards what happened. It's awkward, but they'll explain it and everything will be fine.
The past 124 episodes have been a cocoon. This episode is the butterfly beginning to sprout out of the cocoon. It hasn't learned how to fly yet. We're not there yet. We're not going to get there for a couple weeks. But once we learn how to fly, we're going to be like Mark Wahlberg in
what?
Other Guys. I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
Oh, we got to talk about Other Guys.
We're gonna go from butterflies to peacocks. Man, with our new butterfly concept, we may be able to dip into Other Guys. Actually,
I have seen. If that movie is on, I will stop what I'm doing.
One of the funniest movies of all time. This episode is not about Other Guys. This is our Inside Madness. Welcome to the premiere podcast. You could follow this wackiness on the socials at In Madness Pod. We are gonna dip into the mail sack, which has 1 million emails, but we're always waiting for the next million. But there's one sticking on the bottom of the sack that I'm gonna peel off. It's like a Slimer goo all over it. And we're gonna dip into that one. In Madness Pod at gmail.com. If you want to send us an email or a voice note, you could check us out on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment. Give us the 5-star reviews. Check out the In Madness Spotify playlist, which we have already determined that allegedly Jesus would listen to, the In Madness Spotify playlist, because it is just that good. We have just been adding the most ridiculous songs to it. I want to just check out some of our recent additions here. We have Hooked on a Feeling by Blue Swede from our Reservoir Dogs episode. Stuck in the Middle with You, absolute classic. Just tons of great songs on the In Madness Spotify playlist. Happy In Madness Monday. If that's when you're listening, spread the madness, wrap the tentacles worldwide. Tell everybody you know about this show. If you want to rock a shirt, because who doesn't love a cool shirt? If you want to rock a mug, because who doesn't love a cool mug? Go to inmadness.com. What mug do you have for Inside Madness, Vertebrae?
So, Sean, I just got back from vacation, so I bought a mug while I was on vacation.
Of course you did.
That. Yeah, so I got this
cool
Virginia Beach mug with a sea turtle on the outside.
I have to ask.
Comfy handle, nice sitting mug. Welcome to mugtalk.com right now.
But 2 things. Don't spill that during this episode, because I know you had an issue with our last episode. Second, did you stand behind the most insufferable person in line while waiting to get that mug?
I did not. It was a very pleasant experience.
I know when you go to purchase items, it's usually my nightmare experience.
No, this was a very, very pleasant experience. I had a great vacation. I stood and stared at the hurricane-induced waves for a half hour and came up with a few new ideas for myself and for In Madness at the same time. Had a little epiphany, and it was exciting. Sean, this time of year, end of August, beginning of September, becomes my favorite time of year. The fall is my favorite time of year, hands down, leaning into Christmas, which is always surprises everybody, but my favorite holiday.
September, my birthday. October, Halloween. November.
Wait.
September, our birthday.
See?
October, Halloween. November, Thanksgiving. December, Christmas. Boom. It is just like awesome. Great way to rock out the year.
And October, Comic-Con. And we've been talking about some stuff that's going on for Comic-Con for me, possibly for you. you will definitely be there at the booth that Saturday. We'll start giving dates. They're about to announce all the exhibitors. I need 100% confirmation of my number before I start giving out the booth number, but I believe I'll be in the same exact spot I was last year, right next to our pals at Mischief Toys. So super excited about that. And then I had announced online that Hot Topic is now selling 2 Terrifier items of mine that you can buy, a hoodie and a long sleeve, Sean, but they will also, in limited number, be available at the booth in person. So if you're into it, you can buy it from me. I'll show you.
Is this where
I
you
got
wanted to
props.
segue right here? Yep. So he's got his little box of tricks right here next to him. You could check us out on YouTube. We'll post this on our socials at In Madness Pod. Look at that Terrifier hoodie with the cool bats on the sleeves, right? Because who doesn't love a hoodie with cool shit on the sleeves? And then I feel like I'm on the Home Shopping Network. Check out Vertebrae's. Look at the Terrifier with art with the blood dripping off the name. He's got the knife. He's got the cool Terrifier just down the sleeve. This is great. See, I was born for this. Just put me on Home Shopping Network.
So I'll have those in limited number at
Call
my
now,
booth.
1-800 in Madness.
Yep. Come now. Probably if you buy those, items from me, that hoodie or long sleeve Terrifier, Hot Topic Designs, a co-brand with myself and Terrifier at the booth, you will get a special little treat if you buy it from me in person that I can't talk about yet, but you will
Edibles?
get a special little treat. No, not an edible.
This isn't a Shaw the Butcher concert.
It's a baggie full of Mike and Ike's or something, or Runts candy. Just get the bananas from Runts. That's it. I keep the rest. But no, I'm excited about that, Sean. Excited about the future of the podcast. But let's back up a second. You had a show.
Man, I'd like to say we had a show. We all had a show. It was a community effort. Shout outs to Washed Up Media, my man Sean, drummer of Lost Becomes, who has been on this podcast and is also on the Id Madness Spotify playlist. Him and I put together the party of the summer with E-Town Concrete and From the Pawn and Liberate and Dread. Just phenomenal bands back to back. Long Island showed the fuck up. We had over like 200 people in there. We were selling Harvey's Hot Fried Chicken. Shout out to my man Brian over at Harvey's Hot Fried. We had marijuana giving away 100 free joints. People were just smoking cannons all night long. It was beautiful. We also raffled off a pair of Heaviest headphones. These shows are phenomenal. It's such a fun thing to do. And again, one of the main reasons for 125 episodes of this podcast, getting Vertebrae out of the house and into the world and fresh air in his lungs. And even if he comes out to a show, I do the same thing. You look for that first clear sign of an exit and you're gone out. I do that. I get it. I'm 100%. I want to be in bed. I feel it. The show ended. The crowd dispersed. And there's Vertebrae standing there at the end of the night. And man, to my surprise, I was like, oh, this is crazy. And I look at you and you're like, I was having fun.
Yeah, I was in the back with a drink. Nobody was bothering me. I had my little cocoon around me, watched the show, watch you up front going crazy. That's one of my favorite things when I go to a show that you put on, is seeing you up by the bands up front and listening to them shout you out, which is very cool. And then, I mingled a little. And then I think
all family in the house. Basil was in the house.
And then Kurt, I think I was literally in the middle of a conversation with somebody, and they kind of turned for a second, and then that was my time to go. So I apologize to the group of people, your friends that I was with, that they kind of all looked to the right, and I was gone before you know it.
You were hanging out in Vegas with them. I go to introduce this guy, and they're like, we know each other. We were drinking in Vegas and doing the slot machine. You fucking guys.
When I leave a show like that, or anything, a party, whatever, it's like the end of Usual Suspects. Like I walk out slow and I got kind of this limp, and then all of a sudden I just walk straight and poof, I'm gone. Like I up and vanish like a fart in the wind, Sean. And that's the way I like it.
I'm going to add E-Town to the Madness Spotify playlist. They're the first band I ever saw live. It was like a full circle moment for me. My 16th birthday, 1999, first show ever, E-Town Concrete, Voodoo Lounge, Queens, New York. And now I'm like homies with the guys, and they played a show for us, and it was phenomenal. So I'm going to add some of their jams to the In Madness Spotify playlist. Shall we quickly briefly because our other message was 18 minutes long. This one's only 47 seconds. Shall we dip in to the mail sack?
Mail sack.
All right, so I got to do a couple things. Just bear with me for a second.
Okay, Sean's gonna set up some technology on the other end. I'll just sit here. There's not anyone that watches on YouTube anyway, Sean, so we could do whatever we want on camera.
No, my dad's watching. Your mom's watching.
Yeah, I spend time fixing my hair. I pick out a T-shirt. See the T-shirt I'm wearing today.
Ready? Here is our voice note from the In Madness mail sack. It doesn't come with a name. It's only titled Cadmium 8 Karma. I don't know what that means. We're about to find out. Hopefully we can all hear this. Oh no. Oh no.
This is a prepaid call from
Charlie the spoiler alert kid.
An inmate at the county correctional facility. All phone calls are subject to recording and monitoring. To decline this call, press 9 now, and to accept this call, press 1 now.
No, I'm not accepting this.
Accept.
No.
Thank you. Your call has been accepted.
And now for a taste of things to come.
He's gonna spoil something.
Supergirl is in the post.
No.
Fuck you, Charlie. You're the worst. Oh
my god.
Charlie.
So funny. I thought that was gonna be I thought that was gonna be about Mortal Kombat.
How does he still get phone privileges at this place, Sean? I don't understand.
How do you live in prison when you're just known to spoil everything? Like if you're just the spoiler alert person, how would you not get shanked by now?
Yeah, he's the guy who ruined, like, what did we have him for lunch today? He knows, like, oh, next Tuesday is wow. But thank you.
Thanks.
Right, Sean?
Charlie,
should we thank him?
No, I mean, you know what? 25 more years to the life sentence for Charlie at the In Madness penitentiary. Damn it. See, this is what happens. This is why it sticks to the bottom of the mail sack.
Listen, Sean, we only have one rule of thumb on this podcast, and that's to not spoil movies.
Check out Charlie on one of our episodes of In Madness. I don't know what number, and a rule of thumb, his band on the In Madness Spotify playlist. Speaking of musicians, I know you wanted to talk. We should bring up Mastodon really quick.
Yeah, so the tragic passing of Brent Hinds from Mastodon, and kind of a pretty awful circumstance. I think some details are still coming out, but 51 years old. For me, Mastodon was one of those bands that kind of reignited, at a time where I was kind of like wondering what was next. They sort of showed up for me musically. I did merch for a band called Intronaut, and I did merch for Kylesa, and Mastodon toured with, there was a tour where Mastodon toured with both of those bands. And in hanging out, I met Brent, and he was, he was a bombastic dude, right? There's plenty of stories about him. He was super nice to me and super respectful when I met him that time. And I thought that was very cool. It was the one band on that bill that I never did merch for. I mean, they're still around as a band, but I got close once and it kind of fell apart. But, I can't tell you, Sean, countless hours drawing, listening to Mastodon, Crack the Sky. Remission comes out and introduces the world to them. I think there maybe was an EP before it, but Remission's really what put them on the map, from Relapse Records, I believe. And the artwork, the famous like flaming horse painted by Paul Romano, who I've met a few times and got to hang out with at an opening of his, and I've ordered prints from him, and he sent me things. I think he bought a Halloween poster from me one time, so I got to know him and his artwork. And they would do that with other artists periodically. There was Skinner, who did a cover for them as well, and then in recent years they've gone back to Paul Romano. I know they had a parting of ways with Brent before this happened, but the band was still touring currently. But pretty awful, and certainly a dude who provided a sound a very unique sound that helped kind of make the Mastodon sound that tons of people tried to copy afterwards and all fell flat on their faces. But you put Mastodon in the world with like Baroness and stuff, and they've toured together and everything. But pretty sad. And we definitely should add some Mastodon to the the Spotify playlist. I'll text you after and give you a couple songs that I think should be on there. But I got to see them a bunch of times. Saw them. I think I saw them at Terminal 5 once. Saw them once at the Garden with the Deftones and Alice in Chains. And that was the Alice in Chains when they got the new singer. I forget what that tour was called. That was a while ago. But and saw them Crack the Sky tour. They played Irving Plaza and then Brooklyn back to back. So I saw Intronaut open. I went since I did their merch both nights. And then funny enough, small world, that I'm at that show, that Mastodon show, and I'm standing near the merch booth like the geeks that all of us artists are, because we're waiting for some drunk person to come up and buy the t-shirt that we drew the little thing on. Because in the real world, nobody really cares. But I'm standing there with a friend of mine, and he's super drunk, and he just starts talking to some guy, and he's like, "You should buy that shirt. My buddy did it." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, that's awesome." And it turns out it was one of the guys from Metal Sucks. So then that's how I became friends with Metal Sucks, which is how I became friends with Metal Injection, which is how I met Sean the Butcher, which is how this podcast took place. So it's very interesting that all falls in line. So Mastodon, a very huge band for me, and Brent, an incredible guitarist. So very, very sad.
Yeah. I saw them on like every Mayhem festival. I think back to back, year after year after year. Mastodon was on every single one of them, and I would see them every single time. Mm-hmm. But but let's talk about some television real quick, because we've been watching a little bit of a show that we promised we were gonna like cover immediately when it dropped. Yes. I'll tell you now, I haven't even seen the second episode yet.
Oh, so I have. So we're gonna talk about Alien Earth. We may get into a little spoiler territory, but I doubt it, because I didn't know Sean hadn't seen it. I've seen all 3 episodes that dropped so far.
Third one, I didn't even know they dropped a third one already.
And I will give you a quick idea, because you've only seen the first one, Sean. And I will say the first episode in my mind was awesome to see Alien on television, and they give us some of the bits that we like to see. Storytelling wise, it's a little clunky. It's weighed down with them trying to get information out to you and set up all these new characters. And it feels like a pilot, like this was definitely their pitch. And then episode 2, they start to hum a little bit. And then by the time we hit episode 3, holy crap. Now we are in brand new territory for this universe, and they have expanded it to the point that they can do whatever they want, and it will have no ill effects on anything else, right? We know this takes place before in the timeline, before the original Alien. So there's a few things they obviously can't mess with. There's no reason to have some young Ripley on there or anything. And they carve it out. They make it very clear that it's taking place on Earth. And they make it very clear, we're not giving anything away if we say the premise with these major companies that exist in Prodigy and Weyland-Yutani and a few, I don't know the names of the other companies, but we'll do some deep diving on
Prodigy
this eventually.
Kid with his ball, and he's squeezing his ball, and he's bouncing his ball, and he's a billionaire, and you're just like, ugh, I hate this dude.
And so I think some of that in the first episode, Sean, after watching the first episode, I was like, this series could go one of 2 ways. And I wasn't sure where they were headed. And it went the other way, which is we're going to give you new stuff. And now 3, the pacing slows down. We start to get weirder things now that we know all these characters and we know what happened to them. And it's really a wonderful episode. Second is great too.
Yeah.
I liked the first episode, but it was, it's a lot to sort of, I don't think I watch it. It's like for me, when a new Star Wars movie comes out, the first time I see it, I don't know what I think about what I just saw, because there's so much weight attached to it. And it's like, okay, deep breath. I now saw all the things. Now I'm going to actually watch it. So I've only seen episode 1 once. I want to go back and rewatch it. And if we talk about it on here, I certainly will. but I think it's growing, and where they hit after episode 3, it's like, please let this be a big hit because we need more seasons of this because I see what you're doing, and it's pretty fantastic.
I'll text you, but not much when I do watch. I'll be like, oh, but I'll save all the discussing bits for the podcast. But
yeah, we'll have to do a super. I think the best way to handle this, Sean, would be to get through these episodes because it's only 6 or something.
Mhm.
I think it's going to be for the first season.
Okay.
And then we just do a supersized episode where we kind of talk about 15
Everything.
minutes each episode and the whole season and where we're headed.
Okay.
There is some unique stuff with the music that they're doing. The score is very interesting.
Ended the first episode with the Dio era Black Sabbath, right?
Yes. And that is a vein that they carry through. Now, I think at first it's a little jarring because this is, we usually used to get this spacey, we got these scores from all these alien films that exist a certain way. But I will say what it did for me by episode 3 was like, oh, what are they going to end with on episode 3? Like you kind of into it, like it's their thing now. So you accept it, but also it keeps reminding us that we're on Earth. And I think that's important to be grounded that you're on Earth. And why wouldn't people still know this music? We know music from the 50s. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't people still know? In 100 years, people are still going to know that music.
The Jam and Black Sabbath.
Right?
Hell yeah.
There's 10-year-olds that just discovered Black Sabbath yesterday. Right? And then
they'll be in alien times, they'll be listening to In Madness podcast. Like, this is the best thing I've ever heard.
Well, I think we'll be canceled by AI before then, but we can certainly
killed by xenomorphs.
Yeah, we've got to be friends. We've got to make friends with AI. There's a lot of they mess with a lot of technology in this series, Sean, and there is certainly a burgeoning connection between these life forms and xenomorph in particular, and these kids that are on the show, and the different types of people that exist. We only knew of Ash before, and now we're getting other people with computer infused stuff going on, which we, and
it's so funny because the first thing I thought of was how in Alien the movie, like, you didn't know Ash was a robot until it's revealed that Ash is a robot. But in this, immediately the first word that's muttered by a dude who it's not even like inflected that it's a robot, you're like, that's the robot. Like,
yes.
So it's you're immediately
there's no way to get that back in, right? That came out. There's no way to get. And so what they do is they expand upon it, which I think is very smart. And in expanding upon it, and we see how Earth looks, it falls right in line with like Ridley Scott sci-fi. Like some of these parts of the cities that we see later on look like they could be from Blade Runner. Like they certainly fit in, and it's starting to really make sense. The acting is pretty supreme. The girl who plays Wendy is pretty incredible. There's a few other people that are kind of scene stealers in this. Like I said, we'll get into kind of details of actors and everything. We'll do a big like Alien Earth. But I would say if anyone's watching it, we've gotten some comments online of people watching. I've gotten some messages from people recommending it because, people saw it the first day it dropped, and you and I talked about it, till the cows came home, and neither of us watched it the first day it dropped. That tells you what's going on behind the scenes right now that neither of us can get to it.
I mean that, and I've been watching a lot of King of the Hill. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that
the new season rocks.
Yeah, I did see a few Bob's Burgers episodes yesterday. I probably could have watched, but I watched Alien Earth last night, part 3, and I'm excited for 4. I think they drop on Tuesdays. I think it's 6 episodes, Sean, 6 or 8. I think it's 6, but it's exciting to have Alien and a television show. These are like in 3 episodes at 3 hours. It's like getting a brand new movie already. Mm-hmm. Like we're spoiled. Mm-hmm. So excited. But if you, in anticipation of us going through all the episodes, send us emails, send us comments, send us anything you want to read on the air, send us voice notes. Charlie will not be accepting any voice notes from you until the series is over, until we review it, because we don't want you to spoil anything for us. But I think it's very exciting. I always praise Raised by Wolves on this podcast as one of the most incredible science fiction series of all time. Let's see if Alien Earth can get there. It didn't start out as strong as Raised by Wolves, but that was carving brand new ground. And I think it's hard, Sean, when you're playing the same playground that we've now seen a lot. You almost have to satisfy certain things. You got to get certain things out of the way. Ship's got to come alive. Helmet's got to make some noise. Got to see a crew eating. Let's get all that done and move forward. But I will say 3 episodes in, it blows Romulus away in my mind.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. They're working on a sequel to Romulus. I also heard that.
Well, I mean, listen, they set the framework. So if the framework is good in Romulus and they can now make this move. It's much harder. Romulus had a much harder job of doing that in a couple hours. Whereas a series, you can live and breathe. You can have a couple episodes that really move very slow and then pick up the pace in another one. You can't do that with a movie. So, did we have any other mail? I was wondering if there's
we don't have any other mail available at the moment. Out of the millions of emails, I feel like we could use a couple of more in the mail sack that we can read. I did want to bring up one other cool thing. There's a new Halloween game coming out. I saw on Bloody Disgusting posted, and that looks really fucking cool. And when it does come out, I really want to check it out. I said the same thing with the Killer Clowns game. Never played the Killer Clowns game. My present to myself for all of my hard work at the end of next week is going to be to get myself the new Doom game that came out a couple of months ago. So I'm going to get that. I'm going to play that. But with whatever this new Halloween game comes out, apparently John Carpenter is like an executive producer, and who knows what that means. Maybe he's just like, yeah, give me the check and I'll be executive. Whatever it is, I think it's fucking cool that there's a friggin' Halloween game.
Well, he loves games. He loves video games. So this would make sense that he would be involved in this. It's certainly something he could do remote. Right, he doesn't direct because he doesn't want to have to go places and do that anymore. And I think he obviously got fed up with Hollywood in general. But I think this would be I bet you he's really involved in it. And you know, Sean, when we have him on in the fall, if we can get him on, we're trying desperately to get him on. That is what we'll talk about. That is our hook. Come on this podcast and let's talk about this video.
Let's promote the game. Right? I will be at the John Carpenter show the night before I go to Comic-Con. So if you're going to be out at the Carpenter show, I'll see you out there. But I'm going to be trying to push my way backstage and get to Sandy King and my man Carpenter. We'll see how that goes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the game, although I have the Thing board game I bought last year that was out years before in Mondo, still in the original packaging because you were supposed to come over and we were going to play it inside the igloo in the snow.
We can still do it.
And it doesn't, and it never happened. We still knock on the Mission Sandwich for our sandwiches.
We hung out at E-Town, and that's very important.
Did hang out at E-Town, and I thought that was very, very cool. But Sean, next episode,
you really wanted to do a post recap, a pre-cap. I don't even know what you want to discuss the movie we're about to talk about because you're very excited about this. So,
if you didn't listen last week, we are talking about Star Wars next week, kiddies. The original 1977 Star Wars. We are doing something different for this episode. I am taking, and it's not because I don't love you guys and I don't want to prepare, but I am taking 0 notes for this. I'm not going to write anything down. I am going to go sheerly by my memory of everything. Will I watch it again before the episode? Maybe. Maybe not. I'm going to talk about it and just pull gnarly bits out of thin air. And I think we're going to wing it a little bit because I want Sean to be in this world with me as we discuss it. And I want to hear Sean's natural observations on this film, one of the most important films in my life. It's the reason that I make art for a living. It's the reason that a lot of creative people right now and creative endeavors do what they do. You know, Sean, I always joke that your phone is listening to you, right? You get those ads. You just talk like, hey, Sean, I need a new microphone. And then when we're done, there's like all these ads for microphones on your phone. When that happens, I always take my phone, and Mrs. Vertebrae can attest to this, and I always go, dinner with George Lucas.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to make anything happen, let's make that happen.
Yeah.
I would probably annoy him in the first 5 minutes, and then I would just sit quietly and pass the bread around the table and not say anything. But this is This is a groundbreaking episode for us on In Madness. And this episode is also going to signal a change,
the start of something new,
a growth,
an
a
evolution.
different period of time. And what's exciting about it is we're heading into Halloween season. We're heading into New York Comic-Con season. And this is where things start to ramp up for us in general. Sean has a lot going on right now that's ramping up and a lot of exciting things in the future. And this just piggybacks on all of that. We always talk about the In Madness family, Sean. Spread the tentacles. We're going to try it a little differently. And we're going to try to make the family even bigger. But, man, I appreciate everybody. Can I shout one person out, Sean?
Yeah.
We need to shout out Tom Henderson.
Shout out to Tom Henderson.
Tom Henderson is an amazing
Mr.
listener.
Madness.
Yes, and I love it. He's involved. He's listening. Sometimes he's walking around the neighborhood listening to us and saying things out loud when he's walking.
Sharing the movies that we discuss with his kids, and it's their first time seeing them, and it's their bonding moment. You too can bond with your family over In Madness Pod.
Yeah, and I got a message just 2 days ago from somebody. I'm not going to name them because I don't know if they want to be named or not, but it was essentially like they dive in and out of the episodes. They love the podcast, and they'll kind of cherry pick what movies they want to listen to or other episodes. And we're kind of asking me about movie music and how they pick songs and that kind of process. So we were talking back and forth and sort of letting them know about some of the things I know about that. And I was like, this is fantastic. Like somebody's listening and they're asking questions.
Creating a dialogue with us, which is what we've been asking from you for the last 2.5 years. Feel free to contact us about any of the movies we have covered or ridiculous middle bits in between. If you want to talk to me about Godzilla versus Megalon, I will do that shit all night long.
And the Shin Godzilla, Sean, the 4K dropped.
I went
the pre-order happened.
So I went to see it in theaters last Sunday. I went to check it out.
Nice.
Fucking awesome. I can't tell the difference between 4K. I saw the movie in theaters in 2016, I think, is when it came out. It's been that's 9 years. So
yeah. Well, the thing is, Sean, it's 4K, but it's still being squeezed through our 1K eyes.
Yeah.
So
I was like, I just sat in the middle and I was having a good time eating my snacks and watching Shin Godzilla, one of the greatest Godzillas of all time. So differently done. I heard they're making a sequel to Shin Godzilla and a sequel to Godzilla -1. So this is all good news. And
I got a question for you about Shin Godzilla. Two questions, super important questions.
Oh, please, I'll be here for an hour. I'll talk to you about anything. Yes, please.
Yeah. One, did you eat all your snacks before the movie started?
Joe, we went crazy with the snacks. We went to Trader Joe's right before we walked in. So we got the little peanut butter cups. We got the pistachio chocolate clusters, and we got the goddamn chocolate cocoa beans, like coffee beans.
Oh my.
Oh, I don't even like coffee. I will snort those chocolate coffee beans off off the dirty floor. They are delicious. So yeah, and they were big. So like we were sitting there eating. I'm like, God damn, previews are like a half hour. So you try to wait until at least the lights go down, the preview start, and then you're like, all right, I'm hungry. So you going 30 minutes into eating all that chocolate. I'm like, my tummy hurts. And then the movie starts and I'm just like, bleh. So we didn't finish it all. We didn't finish it all.
Did you have to get up and use the bathroom at any point?
Yeah. When I knew there was the long slow point where they do strictly like the business talk, and I'm like, oh, I can pee right now. I waited till the atomic blast scene. I was like, this is the scene. It's one of the greatest scenes in Godzilla history, in the top 3 easily.
So you snuck in all your snacks? Did you bring in liquids too, or did you buy something to drink?
No, I always carry my little sippy cup I got here.
You bring a water bottle with you? You're allowed?
They never bust our ball. I mean, my fiance has her bag, so we just shove everything in the bag, and then you do the jacket on top of the bag maneuver, and we get everything in.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. You kidding me? I ain't buying movie snacks.
Oh, I gotta get those like they have the little pretzel nuggets and you get the little cup of cheese.
With the cheese, eat that plastic pretzel nuggets and plastic cheese.
Those are good. Those pretzels are
No,
decent.
they are. It is really good.
Yeah,
It is really, really good.
Candy is super expensive to buy there, but
Shin Godzilla 4K, great fucking movie. I loved it. I did a Godzilla marathon. I did all of my movies leading up to it. On Saturday, I watched Godzilla 56 and Godzilla 85, and then Sunday morning I watched -1, and then I finished the night off with Shin Godzilla.
That's awesome. I might actually get a piece of Shin Godzilla merch. They have stuff for sale.
So dope. Such a great movie. I have a Shin Godzilla tie-dye purple shirt. It's just his mouth open with the beam shooting out from Cavity Colors. Shout outs to Cavity Colors.
Awesome.
That's all I got.
Very cool.
125. It's a wrap. The next episode, it's coming.
It's coming.
Are you ready?
I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm excited, Sean. I'm ready for Sean facts. I feel like there's going to be a few Sean facts in these episodes. And then I'm just as excited for the growth after that happens. But
we're doing it.
It's happening, ladies and gentlemen.
It's happening.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. We will see you.
We'll see you. Yeah.
Episode 126, Star Wars.
See you next week for In Madness Pod.